Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Kelly, one of the researchers on the African American High Schools in Louisiana before 1970 History Project and website. Today, I'm happy to introduce you to another one of our LIALO living legends, Coach Noel George. Coach George is being interviewed by fellow researcher Dr. Russell Hill. The interview was conducted in March of 2021, and Coach George shares with us some of his experiences as a student and athlete at Gaudet High School in New Orleans during 1946 through 1950, and some of his successful years as a high school coach at Southdown High School in Houma, Louisiana during the 1960s in the LIALO. Grab a chair and listen to Coach George and his recollection of his coaching challenges, triumphs, and victories as a high school coach prior to integration of the high schools of sports and academics in Louisiana.
This is Russell Hill conducting an interview with Mr. Noel George. Mr. Noel George, also Coach Noel George. Today's date, March 8th, 2021. The time is roughly 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hello, Coach George. How are you today?
Okay, I'm doing fine.
Good. Coach George, I understand that you attended Gaudet High School in New Orleans. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Where is Gaudet located? Could you tell me?
It's in Chile, in New Orleans, in Chile.
Okay. Now, what were the years you attended Gaudet High School?
Okay, I graduated in 1950, so I attended there. I was there 4 years.
So 1946 to 1950.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you were there, approximately what was the enrollment? Approximate enrollment.
Approximately about 120.
120 for the 4 grades?
For the 4 grades, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, who was your principal?
My freshman year was Father Temple.
Father
Temple.
Okay, Temple. And what about for afterwards?
Afterwards was Felix James.
Mr. Felix James.
Yes, and the last, when I graduated, it was Mr. Andrew Pertee.
Andrew, the last name?
Pertee.
Okay, Pertee.
Yeah, Pertee. Yeah,
oh,
Pertee.
Pertee. Now, when you attended Gaudet, what activities did you participate in while you were at the school?
Football, basketball, and track and field.
Football, basketball,
track and field.
And track and field. Okay, and track and field. What I'd like to do first is talk to you about who some of your teachers were, and then we'll get into the athletics and then the various clubs. Can you recall the names of some of your teachers as you matriculated at Gaudet?
Yes. Okay, Mrs. Barton, she was the math teacher and music teacher.
Math and music?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Jones, she was the English teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Lee was the science teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Another Jones, male, the English teacher Jones was a later teacher. Another Jones was a man teacher. He was the science and social studies. And we had Mr. Felix was the coach, and also he was the aerodynamic teacher.
Aerodynamics?
Pre-flight aerodynamics. Yeah.
Pre-flight aerodynamics.
Yes, because he attended Tuskegee, and he was not a Tuskegee Airman, but he was a pilot, and so he taught the pre-flight aerodynamics, the basic principle of flight, pre-flight.
Okay. What other courses did you all have there? This is quite interesting.
Yes.
Did you all have industrial arts?
No.
Okay. Did you have home economics?
The girls did, yes.
Okay, that was available. So,
Yes.
what about automotives? Was there any automotives?
Nope.
Nope. So basically, you all had a college preparatory curriculum.
Correct.
Oh, okay. What was your favorite subject when you were at Gaudet?
Physical education, and math.
Okay, and math. Okay. Now, what were some of the clubs that, before we go into the sports realm, what were some of the clubs that were at Gaudet?
It was the choir.
Okay, you had choir.
And
4-H, probably 4-H, didn't you? Did you have 4-H?
No, we didn't have 4-H. But it was a typical school, and so we were a altar boy. Some of the boys were, participating with the religious service being altar boy. Yeah.
Yeah. What about, did you have the various science clubs, biology or chemistry, something like that?
No.
Okay. What about business clubs?
No.
Okay. Okay. So now, I'd like to deviate and go into your sports curriculum, extracurricular activity. What I would like to do is take one at a time. We'll do the football, then we'll do basketball, and then we'll do track and field. Okay?
Okay.
Now, when you played football at Gaudet, am I correct?
Yes.
What was your position that you played?
Okay, my freshman year I was like 100 pounds, and I played offensive end.
Okay. What about after your freshman year?
Okay, I began to grow, and I played defensive and offensive end.
Okay.
Yes.
Defense.
I weighed my sophomore year. I weighed like 135 pounds.
Okay.
And my junior year, I was weighing about 175, and my senior year, I was 200 pounds.
Okay. Did you maintain defensive and offensive end positions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, who were the teams you competed against when you were in high school?
It was all of the New Orleans schools, and out-of-town schools were like Bogalusa.
Central of Bogalusa? Central?
Yeah, Bogalusa, yes. Mechanic, Baton Rouge, McKinley.
McKinley? Uh-huh.
McKinley, Baton Rouge, and that's primarily what it was out there with the New Orleans schools, the public school as well as the private schools.
Okay. Let's go through these New Orleans schools that you competed against. Some of them, L.B. Landry was one. Did you compete against them?
When I graduated, some of the other schools were not in operation.
Oh, okay.
My freshman year, Gilbert Academy was still open. Xavier Prep was still open. That was the private school.
Yes. Okay.
The public school was McDonald 35, Booker Washington, L.B. Landry.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other schools were not in existence at the time. Like Coyne and some of the other schools came up later. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Walter L. Coyne. That was Walter L. Coyne. What about Clark? Did Clark exist at that time? Oh, okay, okay. Now, I recall there was seeing something about Gaudet at the. That's in a different area though, but we'll talk about that. So you played about approximately 6 schools in New Orleans. Am I correct?
Yes, right. I want to make mention that out of the 120 students that made up the total enrollment of Gaudet, it was predominantly girls. Girls made up at least 60 out, 60 or 70 out of the 120. I mean, about 70 out of 120, and the minority group was boys. So we had to make up the football team from that number.
How many? Did you all play 11-man football, or was it smaller?
Yeah, we played 11. We played 11-man football.
Man. All right. And approximately, what was the size of the team? How many guys were out?
We were lucky to have 30.
Lucky to have 30. Okay.
We were lucky to have 30.
How well did you all do as in competition?
We defeated Booker Washington. Booker Washington had just one class, a freshman class, would outnumber our total enrollment. And throughout. So we never, and also McDonald 35 and Landry. I mean, they had larger numbers, but we never did, even take time to think about that. We participated. We participated and we defeated Booker Washington. We defeated Landry. We defeated, not the same year.
Yeah. Okay.
But at different years, we defeated just about each one of them.
Yeah. What was the best record you all had, or title that you could recall having?
Well, in particular, we shut Booker Washington out 7-0.
And that was what? Do you recall what year? Was it your senior year?
That was my senior year.
1950.
The football season was 49.
1949.
49,
okay,
right.
Okay. And there was such a thing, I think, as a city championship.
It was a championship. But it was an upset. It was a major upset because, just as I mentioned, the size. And Booker Washington was picked to win everything. Yeah.
Okay, and I would think the same thing probably applied to Gilbert Academy, Xavier Prep, and
Gilbert Academy in my senior year, Gilbert Academy was not in existence. Some of the Gilbert Academy players came over to Gaudet.
Okay. What about L.B. Landry?
L.B. Landry was in existence, yes.
Okay. And how did you all do against them?
We defeated them. We beat them in my sophomore year.
Okay. And McKinley?
McKinley, we split with them 2-2.
Okay.
That was my years.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And Central of Bogalusa?
Central of Bogalusa, we lost every time.
You lost every time. Now, were there any other schools outside of New Orleans other than Central of Bogalusa and McKinley that you all played?
I think we went to Mobile, but I can't remember the name of the school. We went to Mobile and Slidell, we went to...
that was St. Tammany. Was it St. Tammany?
I can't remember the name of the school.
Okay. Now, so that just about... who was your coach?
That was Coach Felix James.
Coach Felix James. Okay.
Yeah.
And can you Do you remember any of your teammates at the time? I know this is a long time pressing, but if you could name some, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah. Okay, the other end was Oscar James.
Mm-hmm.
I played on one end, he played on the other end. The center was Morse. I'm trying to think of it. Dennis Morse.
Mm-hmm.
The
Quarterback?
quarterback, he had several of them. Let's see, was Moore. His last name was Moore. I'm trying to think of his first name. Moore. We had Edwin Condo. We had his nickname, pen name was Slack Johnson. His name Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Running back was Waldorf Jennifer. We had tackle. Tackle was my brother-in-law, James Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
His friend was they were from Houma. His name was Robertson. They called him Steel Chest, but he was Robertson. We had Wilbert White played tackle. Leonard Pugh played tackle.
Yeah, that's a good recollection, I would say.
Yeah.
That's a very good recollection.
Edward Molazar was the quarterback.
Well, that's very good.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I would like to do is we have done football. Let's go to basketball. Okay.
Okay.
Now, in basketball,
Yes.
what position did you play?
Okay, I played forward.
You played forward. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you play all 4 years on the team?
No, I played 2 years.
Oh, 2
It
years.
was not my first love.
Who were your competitors? Were they the same as football?
Same as football.
Oh, Central of Bogalusa, McKinley, Landry, Gilbert Academy, Xavier Prep, McDonald 35, and Booker T. Washington. Those were the ones.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, with basketball, you may have played some other teams who weren't your major competitors. Did you? Were there some others?
I'm trying to recall.
What about out?
Like Generate.
Okay. Oh, that's Francis Marion
Right.
Bowley.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Bowley High.
Yeah. Generate. Franklin.
Franklin and Franklin. That was it was probably called Willow Street at that time.
Willow Street. Yeah. Right.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Morgan City.
In Morgan City, Sumter Williams.
Dr. Williams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you, other than McKinley, did you play any of the other did you play Capital at all, but just McKinley?
Let's see. It was McKinley. Capital. I don't know if they were in existence at that time.
Right. Yeah. Capital started around that time, so I think you may have missed them. What about Fifth Ward?
I can't recall playing Fifth Ward.
Okay. And what kind of team did you have?
We did well because we had some exceptional players. Howard Buffington from Baton Rouge. We had Lawrence Lacroix from New Orleans. We had Oscar James. Brooks,
Yeah. Who was your coach?
The coach was the first year was one year was Lee James. Another time it was Mr. Coach Sanders.
Oh, okay.
That was the basketball coach.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of records, do you recall what type of records you all would have in a one-loss?
We never had we had always had a winning above the losing. I can't recall exactly the exact number, but we always did have a better winning record than the loss record.
Oh, okay. Anything else about that you would like to say about basketball? Because
we didn't have a basketball. We had
outdoor basketball. Mm-hmm.
practice. Mm-hmm. We didn't have a gym, so we did all about our practicing outdoors.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you ever have cancellations due to rain?
Okay. We didn't play outdoors. We had to practice outdoors. We always would play in the gym.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that was a gym, but you practice outdoors.
Yeah, at our school we had no gym facility. Okay, but we would play the teams that had gym facilities, or either if they didn't have it, they would play at a location. Like Xavier Prep. We would play at Xavier University.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so we would play a lot of games at the university gym.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Yeah.
let's go to track and field.
Okay.
Who was your coach?
Philly James.
Coach Felix James. Now, what events?
Felix James was then my last year was Claude Paxton.
Oh, last year, Paxson was there?
Yeah, Claude Paxton.
Yes, because then he probably left there and went to Opelousas, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's where he went to Opelousas afterwards.
Interesting. Now, what events did you participate in?
The mile run and the half mile
Mile run,
and the discus.
half a mile, and the discus. Oh, okay. Now, do you recall some of your teammates?
Let's see. We had Wilbur White, Warren Jones. Wilbur White was a quarter miler. Warren Jones was a quarter miler. Turner was a miler. I'm trying to think the full name, but I know his last name was Turner. He was a miler. We had Moore was the javelin thrower. I threw the discus. Kelly Pugh also threw the discus. Ivory Hutchinson was a quarter miler. Warren Jones was a quarter miler. The shot put was James Lewis and Percy Roberts. That was still chip.
Okay.
Percy Roberts.
Yeah. Who was the fastest guy on the team?
That was Herbert Harris. Herbert Harris. Yeah, they call him Blue. It was Herbert Harris.
Okay.
And that was like the 220 and the 100. But the Wilbur White was the fastest in the quarter.
Now, how did you all fare with the teams at the meets?
We did well. We were exceptionally good in the relay.
Mm-hmm.
In the 440 and the mile relay, we were exceptionally good in those. And the mile run, Turner Turner won the state record in the mile.
Mm-hmm. So you all were quite competitive in track.
Yeah.
Now, these were the sports you played in. Now, did you all have a baseball team?
No baseball.
You didn't have a baseball team.
No.
So that was it. Now, as far as your Gaudet experience, if you'd have to sum it all up and say something about it, what would you say about it?
It was more on because I attended a half a year. I attended a half a year at Booker, Washington. Because I finished high school. I finished elementary school in a half year term, so I had to go to Booker, Washington for a half a year, and then I went to the boarding school the following year with my siblings, and but to me it was more like a university atmosphere. At Gaudet than a high school atmosphere.
Oh, that's very, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I think we're completed Gaudet. Thank you very much for the Gaudet experience. Let's go to, you finished in 1950.
Yeah, June 1950.
Right. And I know you went to college. Where did you go to college?
Okay, I went to Texas College.
Okay.
And I got hurt. I playing football there, and then I came out, and then I went to the service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, I mean, did you graduate before you?
No. That was just for a part of the freshman year.
Okay, then you went to which branch?
The Air Force.
Air Force. And then, after you came out of the Air Force, where did you go?
Southern University.
Oh, Southern, Jaguars.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when did you finish Southern?
1958.
1958. And after graduation, what did you what did you do then?
My first assignment was my first contract was in Lake Charles at Washington High in Lake Charles.
Washington High School.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How long did you stay there?
2 years.
Oh, will you tell us about Washington High School?
Yeah, they were looking for someone who would be able to teach social studies, science, and coach. And I feel that I met those requirements. And the first year I was signing contracts for $2,900 for a whole year for teaching and coaching.
Now, what did you coach at Washington High School?
Football and track.
Football.
Football and track and field. Yeah.
Football and track and field. Okay. So, were you the head football coach, or?
No, I was the assistant coach, defensive coach.
Okay. And what about for track and field?
Track and field, I was the head coach.
You were the head coach. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about who was your principal? Who was the principal at Washington High School at that time?
Washington High School, Mrs. Clifton. I don't know if you recall the first name, but she was a lady teacher, Mrs. Clifton.
Mrs. Clifton. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how did you all do in football while you were at Washington High School?
The first year, we played on a restrictive schedule because they had disqualifications, and I don't know the full detail of it because I was not there that year, but they were disqualified for some infractions. So they were limited to the number of players. They were not eligible for any postseason games or anything like that. So we played a few games. They allowed the team to play a few games that year.
What about the second year?
The second year I did not coach because they didn't pay me the first year for coaching, and they did not make any. They didn't make any arrangements to pay me the second year, so I refused to do it the second year.
Okay. Now, what kind of track team did you have?
We came out second in the state in track and field. We won the hurdles. The Gene Duhon was he ran the high and low hurdles. We won the 440 relay. We won the 880 relay, and we placed in the broad jump and the long jump. So we had enough points to come out second place. We had a small group. I drove them there in my car, and that's what we participated with. The number that we had.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. Washington High School, Lake Charles.
Lake Charles.
So, Lake Charles, yes. So you said you were there for 2 years, so 1960?
No, I was there. I graduated in 58. So I was there 58, 59, and 59, 60.
Yes. Now, in 1960, after you left Washington High School, where did you go?
Okay, I went to I got a job in Houma. My wife was teaching also in Houma, and at Southdown High School.
So at Southdown High School. Now it's okay. Southdown High School. What position did you take as far as sports were concerned?
Okay, the year that I was there, we didn't have like an athletic director. We had we coached in different positions, in different sports. I coached football, I coached basketball, I coached track and field.
Oh, okay, were you the head coach?
No, the head coach was Raymond Taylor in football.
Raymond Taylor
was the head coach in football.
Okay, and
my freshman year, I was the head coach in basketball because Raymond Taylor had to go to fill out his reserve time in the service. So I had to take the position of the head coach in basketball.
Okay. Now.
And then I was the head coach in track and field.
Okay. Now, let's talk. Who was the principal at Southdown when you got there? Adrian Purty. Adrian Purty. Okay.
That was the same principal at Gaudet. He had the job after that he had the job at Southdown.
Okay. As far as football is concerned, what kind of teams did you field at Southdown High School?
Okay, it was very bad. It wasn't. The thing was so messed up. It took some time to straighten it out because in order to have a team, you have to have equipment. And they had no equipment. And you have to have an understanding between the principal office and the coaching office. The principal used to order the equipment have the equipment repaired and stuff and things like that. He would the boys had to pay to go to the game. And so if you want a guy to play ball, you have to equip them properly and you have to train them properly. You have to have a game plan that they explain to them and they understand and they were willing to make the sacrifices for it. So they had none of that. So we had to go from scratch. And training regimen. We have to have them to be able to go to the cafeteria. When they go to the cafeteria, to be able to get the proper amount of food, so there's a lot of things that we had to work on to get them where we need them to be. To ask them to do certain things and to expect them to go,
Okay, I understand. Now, what were the teams in your district when you were at Southdown? Was it Park Avenue?
Lafayette was
Paul Bro. What about
Park Avenue?
Park Avenue, which was Willow Street, probably at one part of the time. That's Bowley.
Henderson or something.
New Iberia, Henderson High School. Henderson, okay. What about CM Washington? Were they in your district?
They were not in our district.
Okay.
We played them.
Okay.
But they were not one of our, in our district. McDonald 35. Let's see.
Okay. So did you all play any of the other schools in New Orleans?
We played for
Landry?
when we were going to the States, we played Bugalusis.
Oh, Central of Bogalusa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They came to us, yeah.
Right. So you all were AAA, am I correct?
We were AAA.
Okay. Now, did you all go over to Lake Charles and play Washington and also W.O. Boston?
No, we did not. That was not in our...
In catchment area. What about J.S. Clark of Opelousas?
No, that was not in our area.
Okay. So your area was largely the Willow Street, Park Avenue, Willow Street, Henderson, and then the New Orleans schools then?
Right.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now, what was your best season? What year was your best team as far as you were concerned?
Okay, that was, we lost one game that year. And we had a perfect record until we lost to Bugalusis.
Okay. But do you know approximately what year it was in the 60s?
Okay, that would be like 67. 66, 67.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, 66, 67. Okay. Okay. Now, so that was a good team, very good team then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Your recollection of some of the guys who you have coached, will you just call some of those names if you can remember them?
Yeah, okay. Paul Arsenault, Lawrence Arsenault, St. Louis, James Butler, Jared Butler, not James, Jared Butler, Solomon Cannon, I'm looking at this face and I'm trying to put the names on. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, you're doing quite well after all this time.
Okay. Paul Gillett, Willie Morgan, Freddie Morgan.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good show. So basically, during your coaching tenure at Southdown, you in the 66-67 time period, you lost one game. So did that prevent you from going to the state, or?
That's it. Right. Correct.
Yeah. So, and was that regional? Was that a regional game?
That was a regional bowl game, right?
Okay. Now, who took state in that year? Do you know who?
That year, I'm trying to recall. I think it might have been St. Augustine.
Oh, okay. St. Augustine with that. Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay. Now, let's go to. Did you coach basketball at all?
So I coached basketball, yes.
Yes. Now, how?
I coached basketball that year that Raymond Tiller had to go to service. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did your team fare during that year you coached basketball?
We won 24 out of 28.
24 of so 24-4, and that qualified you for district, or did it qualify?
We went to Baton Rouge, and we lost in the state.
Oh, who did you lose to?
We lost to, it was from the team from, it was not Bucky, it was one of those schools. It was
A AAA for state run-up. That would Bucket would be in this, but that would.
It wasn't Bucky. It was a school from. He pressed us in the second. He pressed us in the second half and took us out of our game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it IHS, Iberville High School, or?
No. It was a team out for Alexandria.
Oh, Peabody, St. James, Peabody, or was it St. James?
Okay, I'll think of the name of it. Okay, but the coach he was definitely a good coach. Yeah, he just took advantage of our weakness.
Oh, okay. Now there were two schools in Alexandria. St. James was a Catholic school.
No,
and Peabody was the other one. And
I'll think of the.
Oh, okay.
I can't forget it because look, he took us out.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
Okay. Now, why don't you call some of the names of the basketball players, if you can, at this time?
Okay. All right. James Delazon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, James played what position?
Delazon. He played forward.
He played forward. Who was your guard?
Guard was he had nicknames and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, that's okay. That's okay. We'll just move on.
Okay.
So you did basketball that particular year. Did you assist in basketball? Were you an assistant coach at other times?
No.
Okay.
That was the only time I had a chance to when they decided to have a athletic director and a head coach in every position.
Mm-hmm.
I had a chance to pick second. The first pick went to the athletic director, which was Raymond Taylor, and he picked football.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I wanted football. But anyway, so I had the second pick. I love basketball, but I couldn't sleep after a basketball game.
Okay.
I would replay the whole game in my mind.
Okay.
And I couldn't sleep, so I decided to take track and field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk track and field.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of track teams did you have?
We did exceptionally well. Well, we did very well in track and field.
Okay.
We had a very good mile. We won the distance medley in this state. but the mile runner was
Mm-hmm.
the Herbert Castle was he won the 100.
Okay.
He won the 220.
Yeah.
He ran the 440 relay and the 880 relay.
Okay, and this is
We dominated in those.
and this was what year approximately?
That was the closing year, Southdown, 69.
1969. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was our peak year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We
So,
had a half miler won the state. Who broke the record in the half mile? That was Charles Harrow.
mm-hmm.
And we had the mile relay we did well on the mile relay. We had Leroy Dixon. He matter of fact, we beat Landry Best when we went to a meet and what was that?
Was it at the C.J. Gilliam? If it was at McKinley, it was the C.J. Gilliam, and if it was at Scotlandville, it was the Riga relays.
Okay, let's see.
Or was it the Pelican?
No, it wasn't Pelican. It wasn't Pelican.
Okay.
It was an invitational meet.
Invitational?
Invitational meet, and Landry had they had the state record, and this kid was I mean he was a chip runner,
Mm-hmm.
and but that particular day, my quarter mile would be in the mile relay. The legs of the so we won the mile relay that day.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
What it is this. You have to know your recovery time of each player. You have to know what kind of recovery time.
uh-huh.
And this kid was good, but they had him in so many different events. I mean, so his recovery time was not up to peak at the time when we ran him in the mile, when they ran against him in the mile relay, and so we won that time.
Okay. Now, do you know who the baseball coach was at Southdown High School?
Yeah, Leonard LaVille.
Okay. So what kind of baseball teams did Southdown have?
They won the state.
What year was that?
Won the state in it's either 68 or 69.
Okay. 68 or 69. Okay.
Yeah, they won the state.
Okay.
Yeah, they beat. Let's see what they beat. I think they beat. I think it was a New Orleans team that had to come to us, and we played because we had a perfect record, and they came to us for the
Okay.
state.
Okay.
And we won it.
Okay. Okay. So basically, what you're telling me is that Southdown was strong in football, basketball, baseball, and track.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, if you look at it,
The basketball coach after me was Isaac Piku.
okay.
Yeah, he was the basketball coach after me. He was my assistant basketball coach. When I was the head basketball coach, he was my assistant.
Okay.
And he became the head. He decided to take
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Now, if you'd have to just in retrospect make statements about Southdown High School in retrospect, what would you say about Southdown?
I would say it finally came. It finally came to par with other schools.
Mm-hmm.
There were some things that was not being understood, like okay, who need to order the equipment. You have to be able to put the responsibility in the right places.
Mm-hmm.
And see, we were the only we didn't have any other school to practice against because we were the only black school in Cherokee Parish. And they wouldn't allow us to practice against the other schools because the other schools were white. So we had to go to out of town, and I mean, so equipment wise, we were short. We couldn't equip the whole team with the good equipment. We had to do it part wise until we had enough over a period of 2 or 3 years before we could equip everyone with the proper equipment so that they can function well and do what we want them to do. You can't ask a guy to do something and he's not properly equipped to do it.
Okay.
So it took some time. So finally, they came to understanding that they would charge the players to go to the game, and they just raise the ticket for the students. Don't charge the students to go to the game. You have to get that kind of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
For the track meet, you had preparation for the track meets. When you go to a track meet, you had preparation. You had some obligations that you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make yourself available. I mean, the head coach had to make himself available at these meets to put the meets together. And it was not understood because the coaches before us did not do it, and they felt that we should follow the same pattern, but you get the same results, and you're not being effective. So we want to be effective. We demand that you listen to us and let us do our job, and we're going to produce. And finally it happened.
Okay. So Coach George,
Yeah.
I would like to thank you for this interview.
Okay.
Yes, it's been very good, especially since you can call these names after all of these years. That's very good. Especially, another thing is that you were at Gaudet as a student.
Yes.
You were at Washington High School.
Yes.
And then you were at Southdown. And so that is a unique, there is a unique thing that you were at 3 different schools and you could talk about each of those 3 schools. So I take my hat off to you.
So I played in the service also, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, thank you very much for this interview.
Okay.